Well, let's do a little beach talk tonight. Did I just lose all my papers? Nope, good. Whew, a little windy. Not going to be one of those videos with a lot of pictures and B-roll and all that stuff in it. I just couldn't find anything really on this topic. But it's an important one, at least I think for me. It's a little talk about the medications that I take and you know, how they work. The funny thing is, all that they can do with Parkinson's is work on the symptoms. They can't really figure out the cure. So the pills just, you know, manage symptoms and quality of life until they can figure out the loss of dopamine-producing neurons in the brains of people with Parkinson's. You know, and there's a lot of forward progress going on with this. Just nothing yet. Holding out hope. God, am I holding out hope? Because I need to learn more about medicines myself. So this is what I know, and I'm pretty early into this. So subject to change. You know, it could be different over time. Carbidopa levodopa is what I'm taking. It's a 2-part drug. Carbidopa is the part that lets the pill get out of my stomach and into my small intestine, where the levodopa can be dissolved, can be digested, taken in. You don't want it digesting in your stomach. It causes a lot of uncomfortableness as a stomach digestion. It's really meant to be a small intestine thing. It's known as Cinemet. It's a brand. It's a carbidopa levodopa. The brand names are Cinemet, L-dopa, Rotary, and Parcopa. Carbidopa levodopa is kind of considered the gold standard of meds. It's the thing that actually is a replacement dopamine. So it dissolves. It goes up through the blood-brain barrier, goes into my brain, and replaces the dopamine that's not there anymore. There are some cons to it. I have to time it with my meals. I can't just take it and then eat. Protein especially really interacts with carbidopa levodopa in terms of timing. They both use the same pathway to get through your body, to get digested. So they interfere with each other, which slows down the medication and slows down the progress of it for getting on to, they call it on time and off time. On time is when the drugs are working, and off is obviously when they've worn off. So that pill timing is really important. A biggie is over time it will begin to cause dyskinesia, which is the uncontrolled movements you'll see, for example, Michael J. Fox or several people with Parkinson's that have had it for a while. The medicine that helps the tremors causes the dyskinesia, and it's just kind of the way it works. It's usually about a 10-year. It takes about 10 years for that to happen. It could be 7 or 8, or it could be 2 or 3. But on average, you can run carbidopa levodopa for 10 years or so without incident. But it does start to cause dyskinesia over time. Think a little bit pill-wise. I'm a little jumping around, I guess, but think a little bit pill-wise of like the way a diabetic takes insulin. What you're trying to do is bring yourself up to a level and stay there with dopamine. Same thing with insulin. It's the exact same process. Obviously different medicines, but the process is the same. And another con is it doesn't do much for what's called bradykinesia, which is slowness of motion, which is something that I have, and I at some point will talk to my doctors about that. I'm kind of trying to learn what I can. There may not be anything to do. I understand that there may be some medications available. It means taking another pill. Not really excited about that. And it's not really, my quality of life isn't bad. I'm just slow. So I don't see taking a pill being an improvement on that right now. There's another one, carbidopa levodopa. There's another one called the dopamine agonist, which is a synthetic dopamine, which is then generally given to people that are with early onset Parkinson's, because it staves off the dyskinesia that happens over time with carbidopa levodopa. So, if you're in your 20s and you start taking this and it lasts carbidopa, and 10 years down the road, you start developing dyskinesia in your 30s, then you're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s. The rest of your life is spent quality of life not so great. So if they can push off the dyskinesia as long as they can, it's just a quality of life thing. So there's a synthetics available as well. They also stimulate dopamine receptors in the brain to try and get your brain to create more dopamine as well as replacement. Like I said, it's better for early onset Parkinson's. It pushes out the side effects longer. I'm repeating myself. It can be dosed as a patch or a pump. The pump is kind of like the insulin pump that diabetics use. That's a brand new thing. It just came out. Excuse me. But the patch has been around for a while. It's a daily patch. Put it on once a day. Take it off at night. And you can get a regular level of dopamine from the patches as well. There are some serious cons to it as well, which sound a little bizarre, but it's more of a dopamine hit when people talk about that. Big problems for people that are starting to gambling is a big deal with those folks. Like thrill addictions, things that build up adrenaline, the dopamine rushes. Spending money is a big, the big thrill of buying something new is the thrill, and being very impulsive. So it has its own side effects. It's got its own deal. What else have I got here? The simplest rules that doctors use in terms of who gets what first. Younger patients would be a dopamine agonist. Moderate symptoms would be a levodopa, and severe symptoms would be a levodopa. And I've been started on the levodopa/carbidopa. They almost always go together. They can be separated, but they almost always go together. Fortunately for me right now, I'm on a pretty low dose, and that's helpful. I've got a long way to go before I get to the big levels that would start causing dyskinesia. And I'd like to keep it that way. I twitch enough as it is right now. So, kind of like as a quick summary, what we're trying to do is increase dopamine levels. And levodopa combos are really the gold standard, the carbidopa-levodopa. And it was created in the 60s. It's been around a long time. And when you really think about it, there hasn't been a lot of major progress in terms of breakthroughs yet. There's been a lot of progress on maybe breakthroughs, but not a lot of breakthroughs on new gene therapies, things like that. It just haven't really happened yet. So, I mean, this carbidopa-levodopa has been around longer than I've been alive. And it's been the best way to treat it. So it's really time for some more breakthroughs to come through. The dopamine agonists, which mimic dopamine in a synthetic way, is a process to stop dopamine breakdown. They also use MAO-B inhibitors to do that, to stop the breakdown of the parts of the brain that manufacture dopamine. Big word coming up. I don't even think I can say it right. There's another pill separately for reducing tremors, specifically for reducing tremors. Anticholinergists. No, I'm not going to say that twice. That's all you get. But that is specifically for reducing tremor. And if my tremors get bad enough, then that may be something that they put me on as well. But the big deal is, with all these medicines and all these procedures, is to control complications. Nothing here is a cure. Nothing here is going to heal or repair. It's all about managing quality of life. So that's the pills that I take, and that's where the pills that I take maybe will be heading, or the pills I may be taking in the future. So, that's I couldn't find any cool animations on this one. It's just, it's pills. But I know I hope it's interesting. It's interesting to me because it's my life and I'm trying to figure this out as I go. And this has been a great thing for me because it's forced me to learn a little bit more about different medicines. And it's also the very first time that I have used ChatGPT, so go me, in the AI world, to ask some questions about this, and it could answer them. So yeah, that was pretty cool. All right, well, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week. I know everybody's fascinated with the tremors, so here you go. Haven't taken my pills yet this morning. There you go.